I once had a conversation with a woman who was especially offended by a certain word. I said, what if the word were chair? I mean, you know, we select the words that are profane or obscene because of meanings that we attach to them. But if we selected words like desk or chair or car or... What's going on? Is somebody trying to break in the building? I think so. Oh, well, let them in, please. Tell them we have money. I'm sorry, folks. I heard a noise that you probably didn't hear, and it rattled me. What is going on? Would you go and see who's back there, please?
Probably an ardent fan.
Yeah, please. Keep the ardent fans at home watching their set. But in any event, language.
Well, you can use words. See, you can talk about the thing itself. You can talk about a part of the body if you say certain words. If you say his member,
yes,
his penis, in certain contexts you can say. You can prick your finger. I can prick my finger.
Yes, you can.
But I can't turn that phrase around.
No, you can't.
I can't
you can,
finger.
You can, but we'll take it out.
Yeah.
I mean, the word.
But so in some cases, it's only the word. In other cases, it's the image the word stands for. In other cases, it's not just that, it's the level of discourse. If it's considered gutter talk and it's being done by a low-class person, then he can't say that, but someone who has several degrees can say it in another way.
True.
It's just more of the hypocrisy that comes out of religious superstition.
Steve, I'm glad you called. Thanks for joining our program.
Hey, thanks a lot, Tom.
My pleasure.
Steve, thank you.
And I apologize to you at home, but we did have a distraction here in the studio.
Yes.
Now, before we go to the commercial, may I ask the director to please take a photograph of the program clock as it appears beneath my camera. And I will ask the question as we take the picture of the program clock, who set it? Does it look wrong to anybody here? Or am I the only one who notices? Did Dave's show leave the air? Was Dave preempted tonight? Or is the clock incorrect?
You are correct, sir.
Fine. During the break, we will correct the clock, and I will correct my attitude. We'll be right back after these messages. My memory's correct. In Las Vegas, 1968, 1969, where you used the word ass on the stage,
right.
You were suspended or fired?
I was suspended for that word. I said a thing about, because anatomically I don't have much of a buttock. Mm-hmm. So when I was a kid, the black guys used to notice that, because Africans have a more pronounced buttock as a general rule.
You're not saying that they're deformed in any way, that there's anything wrong with them?
I'm saying I'm deformed.
Right, exactly.
I'm going out of my way to take the weight.
Okay.
But and black guys would say, hey man, where your ass at? George ain't got no ass, you know. So I was pointing this out to the audience. But unfortunately, this was a golfer get-together. This was like the Howard Hughes Open or Classic or whatever they call it. It was all drunk men. Yeah. And their wives. And so someone took offense to that, and I was suspended.
Somebody in the audience took offense?
Yes.
Have you ever heard the way guys play golf, what they say out there?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, you know, this is all part of what we're saying. Standard, you know, there's no coherent system of thought concerning this.
Only a standard of hypocrisy that runs
it seems like that's in the middle of most.
So anyway, they suspended.
They suspended me for that. The following year, I used a four-letter word beginning with S and ending with T, and it wasn't snot.
We got you.
I used that.
Was there an H in the word?
Yes.
Thank you.
And I said, I don't say that. I'll smoke a little of it, but I won't say it. And I was fired for that. That was that.
Fired?
Fired, because the contract was up then. The earlier year, I had a year to go, so they only suspended me from the engagement. The second time, they fired me, and that's what changed my career and changed my life, because I decided, well, I'm definitely, I mean, I knew this underneath for a year or two anyway. I'm in the wrong place. I'm entertaining the wrong people.
Right, you're different.
Yeah, I'm acting like a mainstream yutz when I really have always been an outlaw since I was a kid.
Alternative, right.
I was always a kid who quit things and got kicked out of things and couldn't live with rules and regulations and this arbitrary stuff they put on you. I knew that discipline should come from the inside, not from the outside. And they were trying to give me this discipline from the outside, and I resisted that. And I said to myself, I have to go my own way with this, and that's when my career really exploded, really took off.
Now, you mentioned in describing your rear end as compared to that of the African American. Do you think we have had to become too careful in this country? That we have become too sensitive?
Well, they say that. I don't personally engage in it. I mean, I don't take that care.
I understand that, but
oh, sure.
My friend Dennis Miller would say, folks, I don't care what minority you belong to, we are in some way a minority, and there's something inherently funny in what all of us do as members of minority groups.
I don't like orthodoxy of the left any more than I like orthodoxy of the right. The right-wing Christians are trying to control your behavior. They're trying to control the behavior of other people. The left-wing academics are trying to control the language and behavior of people. I don't like anyone trying to control and dictate to me from an orthodox standpoint. I just don't think it's what I need to be whole.
When I hear you talk about, as you do in this special on HBO running tomorrow night, abortion, capital punishment, religion,
sanctity of life,
I'm wondering if you're angry, are you on the verge of losing your temper, or you're shaking your head?
No, it's not that. It's a contempt. I really think this species is a foolish, failed species that has organized itself poorly. And I think this culture in particular leads the way. I think we have put property ahead of people. We have put competition ahead of cooperation. And I don't think the balance can ever be brought back into line.
Really? Never?
So my attitude is one of, I look at this species with pity and wonder, a combination of wonder and pity. Can't believe that they do these things. And I really feel sorry for them, but I don't identify with them. Abraham Maslow said the really successfully actualized, self-actualized person does not identify with the local group. I don't identify with this country, with these religions, with this species. I really feel like one of the carbon atoms, you know, and just watching the whole thing.
Really?
From out at the, we know where the Oort cloud is. The Oort cloud is where the comets gather outside the orbit of Pluto. And that's a safe vantage point. And I think artistically, it's the safest place because I don't have an emotional stake. See, you mentioned Dennis Miller. I see his comedy. It sounds like he has a stake in the outcome. Like emotionally, he has an investment in this thing working out well. I don't. I've divorced myself from it, so I'm much freer in my comedy, I think, to say the things I need to say, because I don't feel it's going to work.
Do you ever wonder if you're going to heaven or hell, or are you also way beyond that?
I don't think there's any... You know, I can give you a better reason to believe in the sun god than in this God I've been presented with in this country. You see the sun every day. There it is. It rises. Look, look, it's faithful. There it goes down. It heats me. It warms me. It raises the crops. I have more reasons to worship it than this guy. Got a man in the sky who's judging where I put my hands? I just can't believe that.
I don't think that God is judging where we put our hands or whether or not we had a ham sandwich on Friday as Catholic kids, but I think that there are too many people like John Cardinal O'Connor who say, I talked to God today and God says. Sure. I think that's the problem.
Yeah, these mediators for God.
Yeah.
I just, as far as an afterlife is concerned, there's no proof of anything like that. I'll be interested in finding out. I have an open mind on that. But I think I have a little more proof of UFOs. Accepting this whole God thing as presented, Huh? I have about as much faith in that story as I do in the UFO stories. Maybe a little more in the UFOs.
Keep going, George, and thanks for joining us tonight.
I'll send you the 92 show.
Please send me the 92, but just keep going. You're getting better with age, kid.
Thank you.
George Carlin back in town, HBO tomorrow night, 9:45 Eastern Time. Work backward across the country, and the math will reveal itself to you. Next, Dennis Prager and some thoughts on America, the world, the future, today, yesterday, and tomorrow. I have no idea what it is. It all works for me. Now, these messages.